Okay, good morning. All right, can we get a mic check? Mic check, mic check. This is J to the J, futures trading. Had a little bit of a break. Not feeling too well today, so I'm kind of home at my home office. Usually by this time, my day would be well into the workday, so been pretty busy the last couple months. Spring, I usually have winter and spring. I'm a little bit slower. Things start warming up, I get a little busy. I've actually been the busiest I've been in years this year, so I'll take it. It's been really good. Really, really good. A lot of good stuff going on. So I unfortunately can't spend as much time on my channel as I'd like. Once the channel gets to the point where it's my main source of income and that can be secondary, that'd be wonderful. Okay, who we got? Who's here today? I am, let's see. I'm going to do an update here in a bit of how many prop firms we've had, what we've passed, what we've failed, what we still have, and what we've got going now. Here in just a second. take my medicine, guys. I have to take some medicine here real quick, and then I'm going to find the word pad or the notepad. Bring that over. Okay. Anybody here? Anybody here? Comment if you can hear me. If mic check sounds good. Who you are, what you're doing, what you're trading. Okay, right now I am waiting for a signal. I want to see what happens here today. We've had some really good price action this week. Yesterday, I was doing a few trades at work. I was kind of limited on what I could do, but I rode that nice big spike up, and that was one of the best trades I've had in 2 months probably. Okay, guys. Who's with me? Anybody here? We are looking at the MNQ MES setup here. MES is pretty much all I trade these days. Every time I get doing good with something else, I really have a bad day and I just regret it. So I am just an MES trader these days. The last 2 months, I've been pretty busy. I haven't been able to trade as much. I can trade a little bit at work, but there is days I get too busy. I'm not able to watch it close, and it's just not a good idea. Here is my stats for this year. from January 1, when I started this channel, started making videos, to June, about 5 prop accounts. 3 of them I was able to pass to Sim Live using the same strategy and the same technique on all accounts. I still have one of those TPT Pro accounts I can reactivate. 2, over the last 2 months, I did not pass. I had a Tradeify and I had a My Funded Futures. Both of those, no, I'm sorry. I had 2 Tradeifys. The My Funded Futures was actually one of these 3. Both, I took one and traded it for 2 weeks. I came within about $100 or $200 of becoming Sim Live, and then I blew it. That one was when a lot of this craziness happened with Trump and some of the tweets and things, and I took like 4 losses in a row, and it just wiped me out. It's very rare you get situations like that, but when they happen, they just kick your butt. The other one, I just finished up last week, and I didn't do well at all in that one. I was too over leveraged for a 50K account, and I think I only took two losses, and I was done. So I had to bring my size down. I was at like 14 and just going way too crazy. So the best I'd done all year, I came within $200 of a payout. Was almost to $200. $200 more, and I would have qualified for a $1,200 payout. You don't think I was mad? Oh man, I was mad. Now, as I've ventured in this space and met other people, and I email quite frequently with several people, message back and forth. I follow some other channels, things like that. We all go through this. This is part of the game. The different thing that I do, or maybe a lot of people do this too, but from the mainstream YouTubers you see, is I only do one account at a time. My personal opinion is if you can't pass one prop firm, you have no business buying 20 accounts. 10 accounts, 20 accounts, 30 accounts, whatever. And then the arguments, well, you can do $20 on each account times 20. Yeah, and then you can lose $1,000 on each account times 20. Watch Nutty Bar. I'm on Nutty Bars quite a bit. I like Nutty. I like watching Nutty. It's more entertaining than anything. I've actually emailed Nutty a couple times. We talked about doing a collab a couple of times. We've went back and forth on strategies and all kinds of stuff. But what I don't want is I don't want to be involved in drama. I don't care anything for drama. I just want my channel to be a place of learning and kind of documenting how things are going for me. So until I can pass one account, trade one account, pass one account, collect on one account, that's the only video missing from my channel is a payout video. Until I can make a payout video, there's no sense in buying more accounts. I just don't see the sense in it. So I have to just keep refining and rehoning my strategy, and we'll get there. So what I'm doing, I've got the 5-minute chart. That's my favorite chart. I've got my old trusty RSI indicator. I've got my order block set up. I've got the SMM version 5. I don't have the latest version, or the latest addition, I should say, is another little bar that's in the middle. And it's has like red dot, gray dot, green dot kind of thing, and it correlates with what you're doing. But I haven't updated that yet. I haven't got that on there yet. So, and I may not. I don't know. We'll see. It looks cool, but I don't know if it'll. I don't know. We'll see. I'll play with it a little bit. Right now, so I have a filter. The time filter is only for the U.S. session, and it's just for kind of the meat of the session. This is when volume's the best. I've looked back through, 30, 60 days, and between these times for me is the best. So I kept the time filter for 5-minute chart. I'm not going to do 2-minute chart or 3-minute chart anymore. I've had so many videos where I had such good look on 2-minute chart, and the problem with that is you blind you, because then when things start going bad, you can't manage it, right? And when you lose big on SMM, it really kicks your butt. And anybody who owns this knows exactly what I'm talking about. The little win you're looking at getting versus the big loss you take. And it doesn't matter how you do your stop loss. Either you do the profit wave as a stop loss, you're going to take a big loss. You do an EMA as a stop loss, you're going to take a big loss. You do a static stop loss. There for a while, I thought the best I was doing was when I had my stop loss at twice what my take profit was. That's fine and dandy until you take 2 or 3 losses in a row. And then you've just got such a huge hole to get over. Then you start over leveraging to try and make it back up, and it just spirals out of control. So I'm trying to just work on slower, less trades, higher probability. That's what I'm all about. So I leave my chop filter on, I leave my EMA filter on. I only want to take high probability trades and capitalize on those. So yesterday was a good example. I took both these trades. Both of these were wins. This one came close to my stop loss, but I think my stop was right around here. I think I said it where an order block was, if I remember right. I don't remember exactly where I put it, but I was doing it on my mobile, and I can just drag my finger and put it where I want, and I kind of adjust it as I go. So I try to leave it plenty of room, but not be leveraged too crazy, because the problem is when you see these setups and you take one and then it starts going against you, you move your stop a little bit. Next thing you know, you're $500, $600, $700, $800 on one trade when you'd only made $150 if it went in the profit. So you got to be really careful about that. Really careful about that. So on 5-minute chart, I'm only going to get 1, 2, 3 signals a day, but this one went through, this one went through. The day before, same kind of story. The day before was a monster. I did really, really well on this one. I think this trade, I entered right here. It went back against this a little bit, touched this profit wave, and then shot right up. The next exact, 2 hours later, the same setup happened again. Same exact thing. I mean, we were just booming. This is when the ceasefire happened, and then it didn't happen, and this is just throwing the market every which way. And we're about 400. We're about 400 points from ultimate high for MNQ MES. So, stock market's actually doing really well right now, even with all the stuff with Iran going on. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, one account at a time. And it's hard because, a lot of people, they're like me. They work full time and they want this to be the replacement income. But until it gets there, they have to manage. And that's a whole other angle of difficulty outside of the psychology of trading, the strategy of trading, the experience of trading, the setup you use or whatever. Take all that and put it in one basket. And then you've got a personal life and you've got responsibilities and a job. And that's a whole giant other basket. And so you're somewhere between both of them. And so it really makes it hard. It can be very, very complicated. Trading's hard enough by itself if you can sit at a computer all day and stare at the chart all day. But when you have a full-time job and you're trying to do that, sometimes you can't. Some people just don't have the ability to be able to trade during the U.S. session or, certain times of the day. And I don't really like the Asian session. I mean, I can do okay at it. But there's times it doesn't really move that much, and so you can't go in with expectations you're going to make money every day, because there's times it's just flatlined, and you don't want to trade then because there's no volume. You're just going to get bad signal after bad signal, and pretty soon you're like, wow, that was a waste of 4 hours, and I lost a bunch of money. So not everybody feels like that, but I do. So yeah, I would love it. I would love it if my schedule ever changes. We may be doing some later in the day stuff, and actually into night, because it'll be a little bit cooler, and we can throw some lights up or whatever. And if they do that, and I'm kind of leaning towards that, because then I can do some streaming, do more with my channel in the morning, and then go to work in the afternoon. That would be ideal for my setup and what I want. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So I'm on my 6th prop account for the year. I have one pro account that I can reactivate that's passed with TPT. TPT's had a lot of problems with their tech support. I'm a little nervous about that, and I've seen a lot of people complain about it, not just my issues. I still have a tech support ticket open from April that's not been answered. and they just don't even care to answer it, that's very concerning to me. What if it was a payment issue, right? Like I've been waiting on a payment since April and I needed that money. That wouldn't be good. I also don't like how they lock the trade evade feature, the daily profit trigger feature. I don't see any reasoning for that. Every other firm I've ever dealt with let you use that feature as no issue. I do not get that. What's so hard about unlocking this feature here? I don't see it. I don't understand. What's so hard about that? It's a simple keystroke for them. But to me, it's a big deal. It's some of the best trading. Maybe that's why. Maybe their metrics say that the people who use that do better. I don't know. I know for me, I do way better. I do way, way better. Okay, it says I've got 2 viewers. Wonder who's here. Go ahead and type your name if you're here. Comment if you're here. Let's see what happens here. I think we're looking at a pretty good setup for a buy here. That's why I've been holding on to this buy. All the news I'm looking at, everything I'm seeing, we're still bullish. So I set my order right at the 200. That's kind of why I've been hanging out that level. Rode some drawdown a little bit there. Totally comfortable with it. Have a decent stop in place. This is totally manageable. If I lost 250, great. I can recover from that, no problem. The hard thing is when this is 1250 and you've took yourself out in one trade. I've done that several times. I don't want to do that anymore. So if you're here, comment. Now we're up to 4 viewers. I wouldn't be surprised if I hear from Corey today. I talk with him quite frequently. He's another Utah native. I don't know if he's native here, but he lives here. Some of the best streams I had, we had 20-something people, 25 people. That doesn't sound like much, but to me it is. I've met a lot of great people trading too. There's a lot of good people out there trying to do exactly what I'm doing. They're just regular people, and they're trying to figure this market out. A lot of them have bought SMM, trying to make it work. It's a challenge. There's some good, there's some bad. So, TP, hey, what's happening? Good to hear you, man. Good to see you. I am homesick today, and I'm doing a little bit of trading. I haven't streamed forever, and I thought, man, I'm just going to update and do a stream. I would love it if I could if I can start working later in the day and have the mornings to do streams again, I will. I think that it was good for me, too. A lot of the trading, a lot of the live streams and stuff, we've all kind of seen the same things, and we've all traded together and done well. I've got some videos. I was looking at my channel the other day. I've got some videos, and I'm like, dang, I've kicked some butt. There's been some days I've really, really done well. And there's been days that you haven't seen on the stream that I wasn't able to stream, just trade mobile or whatever, and I got my face whooped. Absolutely. Fire's bad, man. Last I read about it, well, my daughter's boyfriend is working on the fire crew with them. We've lost like 14 structures, and they've got a huge section of that valley blocked off. They're rerouting traffic around, which is making our roads busier over here because they have to come our way instead of go the way they usually do. And the smoke is everywhere. It's terrible. I know. We were up in Salt Lake last weekend, and up in Midvale actually, and it was crazy up there. Smoke was everywhere up there too, but it's worse down here. It might be part of the reason I got sick. I don't know. I just got really sick yesterday. Almost like heat stroke. It was weird. I got really, really sick. But I was just doing an update for my channel. Here's where I stand as of right now. 5 prop accounts purchased, which is I think when I was looking at the numbers, I think we're about $875. 3 passed to Sim Live. Still have 1 TPT Pro. I can reactivate it. It'll be there forever. They don't ever delete those. 2 I didn't pass over the last 2 months. I had 1 in May, at the beginning of May, and I made it. I was almost like $200 from passing to Sim to Live, and I had 3 or 4 trades in a row that went negative against me and wiped me out. And then the second one was one of those days where Trump was tweeting like crazy, and I was getting bad signal after bad signal. I'm done with 2-minute chart. It works so well for so long, and then once you start getting kicked, your butt kicked, it just kills you. I came within $200 of a payout. So in 6 months of working on this, I came within $200 of getting a payout. Isn't that crazy? I cannot believe. If I would have passed, if I'd have got another $200, I would have qualified for a $1,200 payout, and I would actually be profitable this year. In one payout, I would have made all this up right here. Oh, that's so frustrating to me. And you know what? I hear stories like that every single day. Every single day. We all go through it. That's how it is. That's trading. Everybody has to deal with it. CB Trader, do you watch Nutty too, right? Was he streaming today? I didn't see that he was streaming today. Okay, cool. I don't mind Nutty. He's all right. I've talked to him several times. I'll get up on there and see what he's got going on. It was funny the other day. He was just talking right through one of the biggest spikes we've had recently. And then he wanted to start trading at the top of it. I'm like, dude, I've already had 3 trades. I'm pretty much done, and you haven't even started yet. Nutty gets so distracted. That's the thing, too. I don't really know if I want to have 400 traders asking questions all day, because that would be so much work. You know what I mean? People are asking questions about prop firms that they could just get the answers on the website. And I don't mean to be rude when somebody asks me a question about that, but I'll just be like, look at the website. I'm not here to memorize every bit of information about prop firms. Just go to the website and you'll know exactly what you need to do. The drama's fun to watch, though. Some of the drama that happens is pretty funny. Futures for My Future, those guys are pretty funny. Some of the stuff they put out, and it's true. Like they nail it on the head. They don't care if they offend anybody. They just say it like it is. And then you got PW. Watching his is comical too, for a different reason. Okay. Like I said, I'm watching this area pretty close here. I've got a good support on 15-minute. 1 hour's bullish. We're right at the 21 on 1 hour. So really, really good place to. Unless it breaks down below this, and we could move down to this level pretty easy. But it's held for the last couple hours. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm really thinking we're going to end up here. It's been so bullish lately. That's why I kind of just placed that order and I'm holding it. Another thing I've kind of changed with my strategy. There for a while I wasn't trading with stop losses and I was doing really, really good. But when things start going sideways on you, you'll reassess that. That was not a good choice on my part. Guess we better look. I don't think there's any more news today, if I remember right. Yeah, we've already hit it all. German GFK, consumer climate. Some of these spike ups were pretty good moves. Got an alert to go down, just like I did about 40 minutes ago. Spiked down a little bit, but there's a pretty good resistance holding it. I'm right where I want to be on my entry. I'm right above the 21 and the 200. And we just kind of squoze. Just kind of squoze right there. So I guess we could do the fishy. Do a trading with Travis fishy here. This could be the eyeball. Yeah, there's the eyeball. Like I said, doing my top down. Really strong support here over the last 2 days or so. Next leg down, 6,100 levels. We're at 6,145 levels, 46 levels. Holding above the 21 here. 61, 19, 18 levels for another support here on the 1 hour. So, yeah, I feel good about this entry. We might just have to wait. But one trade at a time, guys. I don't DCA. I've never really DCA'd on my channel. I'll just do one trade at a time. It's so much easier. So much less stress. I like that. You know, the stop loss thing too, really getting back used to that. I used to do stop loss all the time. I think I've said that many times, but I kind of got a bad habit with simple market metrics, getting overconfident, and then I stopped using them. That was super bad because when things go sideways on you, you've got nothing to hold you. And I've blown accounts that I shouldn't have. Let's put it that way. It's basically because of a stop loss. Not having one or not using any type of stop loss. Catching a bad trade, getting a signal, and by the time you catch it, you're $1,000 down. Doesn't take much of those to wipe out your prop firm. Everything looks pretty flat last hour or so. Not much going on today so far. Felt like yesterday we were moving pretty good compared to today. Yeah, yesterday we were right in here. I got this signal. I got this signal. I took both of those on the 5-minute chart. They both worked out really well. I did have a little bit of drawdown. I think I entered right here, and I had some drawdown the next 10 minutes, and then the next 5-minute candle was boom, right to TP. That's how it goes, though. Just give and take and everything. Watch the next 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll either cut this because it's going to start going down on us, or we're going to start moving up maybe. Stream looked good. Looking at my OBS, it looks great. Looks like we're streaming well. The audio's good. Audio's good. Stream's good. Some days it's patience too. That's what a lot of people struggle. A lot of people really struggle. They can't wait for good setups. They have to just be in a trade. Let's see. Yeah, it's streaming good. Sounds good. Who else is here? Nice.
They just basically engage a sell algo. So far, the hourly chart, three red hourly bars, right? So we got the pullback that I wanted, right? Got the pullback that I wanted. Now I want to see a little pump to the upside, kind of dance a little bit, right?
I've never watched this guy before. I just noticed this. Futures Scalper. Never seen him before. He just popped up on my feed, probably because I went live. Okay. TJ Simple Trading. No, not yet. I got it. I've talked to Justin about it a couple times. I don't really know. I wish he would do a video just about that. It was like he kind of just. Well, by the way, I got this new indicator, and here's in this. I'm going to send it out to you, and here's what it does. But I'd like a little bit more in-depth video about it. I don't really know if it helps or hurts or. I mean, the video. I kind of zoomed in on the video that he had, and I looked at it, and then I compared to what the chart was saying already to what it was saying, and I didn't really see how it was much different than what I would use. So I think what I mean by that, I think the RSI histo, it works just as good or better. So I don't really know if there's a value in adding that. I think that the RSI histo that I use is probably better. I wouldn't be surprised if it's better or at least as good. So I don't know if I'm going to update and use that. I'm still using version 5. But I don't know if I'm going to add that or not. Are you using it? Is anybody else using it?
Side effect from steroids that bothers me the most is
Hmm. Yeah, it did feel. TJ Simple Trading. I don't know. I've got it. I downloaded it. Well, it's on the. So I'm on the Gumroad. I have a Gumroad account too, so it's downloaded to my Gumroad. But I don't know. I just the videos, the two videos that he's had since that came out. I've kind of looked through them and zoomed in, and I didn't really see a benefit to it. So I'm not even gonna really look. I don't think I'll even do it. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you add it to it. I don't know if it's separate. I don't know. I'm not really good with coding on TradingView either. I used to do quite a bit of coding on MT4, but that's a lot different. But yeah, you're right. It was just kind of it was like, it felt like it was in the middle of another video, like just another daily, here's my wins for the day or whatever. And then, oh, by the way, here's this thing that the guy sent me. Another trader in our group give this to us. So here you go. It's going to be free to everybody. I'm like, oh, that's cool. A free indicator. Maybe it works pretty good. I would imagine that if they're going to put it on his channel or videos, that there's some value there somehow, some way. But I think that to be honest, 100% honest, and I don't even care if he knows this or anybody knows this. I think the RSI histo is every bit as good, if not better. That's why I have it on here. I've absolutely kicked butt with this setup. So some of my other videos, you can see some of the amazing days we've had. Well, and I've passed prop firms. I've came within $200 of payout, and I just do the same strategy every day. So I still need to refine some things. The thing that the SMM doesn't help you with is take profit and stop loss. There's no real. I mean, it can help you get in a good entry, but it doesn't really tell you when to stop or start. And so you'll either hold on too long and start going against you negatively, thinking it's going to be one of those big spikes like his channel always shows, or you know what I mean? There's not really. That's why I like to use order blocks, because it gives you an idea of where it could likely go to, so you have some sort of an idea. Or you could just do static like 10. When you take a signal, just do static 10. That seems to work pretty good on every signal. But yeah, TJ Simple Trading. I honestly, I don't know if you have the RSI histo alert. It's free. I have a video showing the settings that I use, and it works great. Plus, I like the alert feature that's attached to it. I mean, it makes it super simple, especially like. So I'm really busy at work these days. It's warmed up here in Utah, and I'm super, super busy. I work 11, 12-hour days some days. And so getting the alert on my phone, you got to be really careful with that, because there can be a little bit of a delay, and I've had some problems with that. In fact, I blew one of the really bad days I had. I blew an account that way. But we have excellent internet where I'm at, and my signals, I've tested the signals and the latency and everything, and they're spot on. I get them almost instantly. So I don't think I would rely on it. Like if I was in the mountains cutting a tree down or something, I don't think I'd rely on it. But where I'm at, I'm pretty confident with it, because the internet I have is super, super good. Yeah. So I've tried that too. You're talking about the profit wave, like where the 21 line is. I've tried that too. The problem I had, especially on the lower time frames, like 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, a lot of times you'd get a signal and then it would go so far the other way within the next candle, and so by the time you stop the trade, you're super, super bad. You know what I mean? I mean, I'd sometimes on my take profits, I'd have like $150 take profit, and I'd lose $1,000 real quick, because things move so fast against you. And the thing is, the simple market metric tool is still saying buy. Yeah, I use it different. My channel is kind of a chronology of how I've used it from January. I started my channel in January. I started making videos on it. I played with it all last year. I bought the metrics toolkit back in August last year, and at first I thought it was a waste of money. And then I started playing with it on some higher time frames, like 5 minute chart, like I've got shown here, and I started doing really well. And look through my channel, you'll see there's quite a few videos. I think I've got 65 some videos and live streams, and overall I've done really well with it. In fact, if you've got just a second, if you're going to be here for a second, this is my stats right now. This is where we're at for right now. So I started in January with my funded futures account, and I bought 5 prop counts up until June. 3 of them I passed to Sim Live. I still have one TPT Pro I can activate. It's just kind of in the holding. The last 2 props I bought in May and first part of June, I did not pass both of those. The first one I came really close. The second one I just got wiped out. I had one of those bad days where I got bad signal after bad signal, and it just kicked my butt. I was in $200 with payout though, so even though I've had some struggles the last month or two, I still think there's some value to it, and I think it's more just a matter of refining how I use it and refining my stop loss and take profit. So I got too overconfident. I stopped using a stop loss for a while, and I've done really well like that, just using levels. But I've also got my head kicked in pretty bad. So now I'm just gonna go work on refinement a little bit, refining my strategy, so that's not going to be quite an issue. So, but yeah, there's a lot of good videos in there. TJ Simple Trading. Hopefully they'll help you. Some of the live streams are really good too, because you can see it in action. You can see when I get the alert, then I take the trade, and then you can fast forward a half hour, 45 minutes later, and see how it progressed. And I take the alert. I don't take the alert off the SMM. I take the alert off of my RSI. So technically, I could delete SMM altogether. I just like how clean the candles in the chart look. I really feel like I think that's probably one of the best things about it, and I'm a little bit different how I use it that way. I also color coded the 21, which is the bottom of the profit wave. Profit wave is basically just a series of EMAs, and I just color coded the bottom one just so I can. That's kind of like my ultimate break. So the next 5 or 10 minutes is going to be pretty telling here. What's going to happen with this fishy here? We're right at the jaw. And this last one rejected pretty hard. The 2 or 3 of them have rejected pretty hard from this level. So I felt pretty good about having an entry right above the 21 and the 200. But if that 21 dips down below the 200 where we're at right now, and we break through the bottom of that jaw, there isn't a support right there. We could see some action to the downside today. It's not super strong though. If you're looking at the RSI, we're not super strong. I mean, if we were seeing like -40, -50, -60, then I would be out of this trade. I don't want it to hit my stop loss. I don't know what it is. Every time I start a prop firm, I start out with a losing trade. I swear every single one I've done, I've had a losing trade for the beginning of the prop. Just how it goes. But yeah, TJ Simple Trading, if you're still here, I hope that helps you. A lot of good videos on there. And like I said, I was looking through my channel, watching some of my videos, and kind of just refining some things. And I'm like, man, I've really had some good success with this overall. So I bought a Blue Sky 50K account. I'm gonna scale back on my size. I think as I've done like I said, I've been looking through my accounts, looking through my stats, looking at everything I've been doing the last 6 months. I almost feel like I got a little too aggressive with my size just because of overconfidence with the system. Between too big a size and not using a stop loss, even though I can read the market pretty well, it just doesn't leave me a lot of room for error. So got about a minute left in this candle. Great luck scalping the MNQ for 5 points, but over 2 months I'm almost break even because the wins are small. Yeah, I've had the same problem. It's weird. You get in these funks, and if you know any other traders or watch any other channels, this happens to everybody. There's times you do really, really well, and then you'll get into a funk, and it just feels like everything you do is wrong, and you lose more than you win, and then you start questioning things, you start changing a bunch of stuff, and what it is your strategy's good, but the market's changing. So, like I said, I'm the same as anybody else. I've had good days, I've had bad days, and so I'm just trying to refine my setup so I can capitalize more good days. And I feel like overall for me, so I'm pretty aggressive. I get a little bit too much. I'm everything all the time type of personality. So I think for me, slowing my roll is a good thing. Like I said, putting stops, taking hard stops, lowering my unit size so the stress level's down a little bit, and then using the trade evade features. Going here and setting your risk settings. These risk settings are killer. My biggest gripe with take profit traders, they won't let you use these, and I'm sure it's because one of their metrics and whatever they're doing says that more people win using those. So okay, now we've got a sell set up forming up here. So I'm going to take a sell. Yeah, we're looking good for a sell right now. So we took first trade of the prop account was a loss. I held it a little bit longer than I probably should have, but I'm looking at a good sell for the rest of what I'm seeing here. So we're starting out with $100 in loss. I always start out with a loss on my prop firm accounts. I don't know why. The couple things I just saw here, I was waiting until that candle closed. We broke through the jaw, right? And this is just an arbitrary picture. That doesn't mean the market's doing anything. It's just telling me what the market's doing. It's not like it's guiding the market one way or the other. It's really hard to see here, but the 21 dipped below the 200. So dipped below the 200. Our RSI jumped up from 14 to 30, 34 now, 24, 34. So we're dipping pretty hard down, and we're gonna take a sale here. Now, this is the next level of area that I'm really gonna look serious at for support. If we go zoom out here, it's kind of where yesterday's levels were. So will we go that low? I don't know. Things have been pretty bullish lately. Does it mean we can't go that low? Absolutely not. I think we absolutely could pull back. Yeah, I think we absolutely could pull back. See, look what's happening. See I just got that signal. We broke through the bottom of the jawline. 21 crossed the 200, which is important. So now we're below both EMAs. We're trading with the trend. We've got red across the board. Triple R, triple G. So we're at triple R right now. This is feeling, if we break, so we can see here this rejected at this level here. We just tested that level again. We break through that level, we're gonna go south. So it's testing this level and rejecting, but we'll see what happens. It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. But like I said, I took a loss and we're heading south now. So the market metrics are cool. I love how clean the chart looks. I've got so used to looking at this chart. I don't like to look at a different chart. I've played with a couple different charts. I have a couple different charts on my, here I have a couple different charts, and I just keep going back to this one. I'm so much more comfortable with this. I've just got so used to looking at it. It's just about refining. It's refining. The market metrics are awesome for price action. Okay, for telling you what's good, what's bad, what's going down, what's going up. What it doesn't tell you is how to do your risk, how to do your stops, how to do your take profits. It doesn't give you any helps there. So I added my RSI indicator. I added the order block indicators, and that kind of gives me an idea where price could go. There's no guarantees in trading. I mean, just because this is a support doesn't mean price is going to visit there for sure, right? Things could turn around in the middle for no reason. Trump could tweet, I'm going to bomb another country, and things will go the other way and then go right back down. Or it could even drop really, really fast. It could go down to this level. For some random weird reason, it stops in the middle of nowhere. I mean, price can do whatever it wants. The market can do whatever it wants. So the reason I say that is the better refined you are with your stops and your setup and your strategy, the better you're going to be able to handle those random. That's the way you can really navigate this current market, because things are so crazy and out of control. The things Trump is doing, the things the economy is doing, the things the world's doing, like the whole Iran thing. Wow, that's been something else. That's dominated the news the last 5 days, and I'm sure it's played the market. I'm sure it has. So we've had some really good spikes. Like I said, yesterday was a great spike up. It was awesome. Stock market's pretty high right now. Now, I'm also not going to do one thing that I'm doing different. I'm not going to do 2-minute signals anymore. The last two, I'll say this for sure. You can see some of the videos I've had with 2-minute signals. I've kicked some absolute butt, and I've actually lost the last two prop firm accounts. I was using 2-minute signal, and I did really well. But I also got my butt kicked so bad that I lost the account. And I was using the same strategy, the same indicators, the same alerts. So I deleted those. I'm kind of refining my strategy and setup. I'm staying with 5-minute chart, one trade at a time, trying to look at the overall picture. You get a 2-minute. The thing is 2 minutes fast. So you get a signal, you take a sell, and you're looking for $100, $150 on a 10 tick take profit. And that thing goes 50 ticks negative in the next candle. It kicks your butt pretty fast. And I've had days where, I thought this was impossible. I didn't really see a lot of this before, but it can happen, and I've seen it now. You can hit 3, 4, 5 losses in a row. And I didn't think that would ever happen. So I got a little overconfident in using that setup and remembering or thinking that was something that couldn't happen, and it absolutely could. So anyway. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm refining my strategy. I'm trying to work full time and trade, which is definitely difficult. I know a lot of people do it. So it adds another layer of difficulty that's outside of the trading realm, right? The psychology and the strategy and the structure and everything, all that's secondary when you have a full-time job. And you're only able to look at charts a certain amount of time, it really makes it a lot more challenging. We've got a really bad fire by us, and my whole family keeps texting me, making sure we're okay. We get a lot of news coverage out here in Utah. There's a great big fire just south of us. There's one east of us about 50 miles, but this one's only about 10 miles away. It's huge too. It's like 6,000 acres. Okay, so what we just saw, looking at the chart right here, anybody who's following us right now, what we just saw, we see this quite a bit. I'm going to leave the fishy up for just a little bit because I want to illustrate what it did for us. But we just saw what we've seen many, many times on my channel. When we dip into this profit wave, the next 2 or 3 candles are going to put us down in here somewhere. We dipped into that profit wave, and all the profit wave is a series of EMAs. But anytime you see a dip down, and then a candle pulls back into that profit wave, and there's a little bit of a wick, like it's coming back down, I would say the next 2 or 3 candles are usually a pretty strong jet the other way. Let's see if we can find an example of what I'm talking about. So if we go back earlier today, okay, we had a pretty good expansion. This is right about when the market opened, pretty good expansion. And then we had a pretty nice tuck into the profit wave, about 50%, right, through the profit wave. The next 2 candles were pretty good, strong spikes back up. And then the next 2 candles were even harder back up. And then it pulled back into the profit wave again. This one touched the 21, and look what the next 3 candles did. Boom, boom, boom. So I would not be a bit surprised. We've got about a minute left in this candle, but I would not be surprised looking at this price action. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you too. This is why I like this. I'm so used to reading these charts. I'm so used to reading this setup. That's one of my favorite things about Simple Market Metrics is what it does for the chart, right? It doesn't tell you where to take your profit or stop loss or anything like that. It doesn't tell you how to manage your risk. But what it does with the price action and the cleanliness of the chart really helps you. I mean, it helps me. I'm so used to looking at this chart, I don't even want to look at anything else. Everything else looks foreign to me now, which is it's good, but it's bad. So let's just leave it at that. But yeah, see this here? We had a nice dip down. We broke through the jaw of the fish. Okay, we broke down. We got a signal where we went right here from 15 to 20 to 30 to now we're at 40s, which I said a little bit earlier. If this goes down to 30, 40, I'm going to get out of this. That's exactly what we did. We pulled down hard, then it retraced into the profit wave. And I would not be surprised if the next two candles are a pretty good dip down. Who is that? Hey, Colt. Okay, we started a new candle. This new candle, we're at negative 30 on the RSI. So I watch these two together. This is what I do. I watch these two together. RSI shrinking a little bit. We're going to hang around. It might take a candle or two, but I would not be surprised if we drop down pretty hard right here. Again into the profit wave. So we've got a pretty good wick that touched that profit wave. Let's see what it does. Drop down to negative 24. We started out with a $100 loss today. I sat on that trade for about 45 minutes while I was waiting through this. I had my trade placed right about here, waiting through this, and then once we broke here, I canceled it. So we took a little bit of a loss. I hope you can see this. If you're watching this, I hope you can see this, but this is my favorite part about SMM is I really feel like once I get to where I'm dialed in, I'm watching this. I can even see it on my mobile. I can read things pretty good on my mobile. So as long as you have good internet and you're getting those signals on a timely manner pretty quick, that'll be okay. But I don't think I would try to go out in the middle of the desert and rely on your cell phone service to get you those signals good. I've had problems with that before. Okay, now we're down to negative 20 on the RSI. The RSI is shrinking pretty fast here. We've got buyers pushing hard right here. But look, this is what I was talking about earlier. The 21 dipped below the 200. That's an important cross right there. So for the last couple days, that 21 has been above the 200. Now, it doesn't mean it can't flip right back over and go right back up. It absolutely can. And if it does, we'll switch our position again and we'll take a loss. But like I said earlier, when you get some of these spikes into the profit wave, and it doesn't really work that good in pre-market. I mean, it does a little bit, but volume's a big part of that. So like yesterday, dipped into the pre-market. I took this trade yesterday. We did take some drawdown on this trade. I was getting a little nervous on this spike down. It didn't last very long, though. This was only a minute or two of that candle. And then the next 10 minutes, look at this. Boom. I mean, it went the other way completely. Same thing on this candle here. These two profit wave ones, the next three candles were straight the other way. So let's see what happens. If this wicks out on this candle, that's going to be like the third time it's tried, or second time it's tried in the last 10 minutes. With rejection into that profit wave. So we'll see what happens. And all this is telling you, it has nothing to do with the profit wave. It's just giving you, it's just illustrating what's rejecting. This is my 50K Blue Sky account. I have my Trade Evade settings at $410. And it'll stop me out. That's my daily profit trigger. I did that because when I'm trading on mobile, I just want to try and find good entries and trade until I hit that. That's my goal every day. Okay, we've got about a minute left in this candle. That's pretty solid rejection in that profit wave again. So I'm hoping you can see what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about this profit wave. Justin's channel talks about this a lot, but I noticed this pretty early on before his channel really said much about it. Some of the groups we're in, we talk a lot. A lot of people have talked about this too, but that's one thing to watch with this simple market metrics. Watch these rejections into the profit wave. If they reject and then come back out of it and then pretty hard the next couple of candles, it's giving you a good idea of where the direction's going to go. And that, you start looking for that. And that, I mean, if you look at my channel, some of the successful days I've had, that's what I've watched. Just watch the RSI and that together, and you get a really good idea what's happening. This number right here, this and this together are a magic recipe. I've had hundreds of comments about how much better people do with this indicator and this together. Even just adding this indicator to any chart. It's awesome. The way I use it and the settings I have, it works really, really, really well. A 5-minute chart, it's a killer setup. Okay, that candle just populated. RSI's holding about the same, shrinking just a teeny bit. We were at 40. Now we're down to 23, 18. So price is slowing down as far as the RSI goes. Like I say, our dashboard here, our 5-minute and 60-minute chart, kind of watching those together. They both say bearish. I think let's go over on our chart here. Okay, so earlier when we started the stream, we were above this 21, but now look at this. Now we've broke below that 21 on the 1 hour chart. We've actually flipped red too. We're below the profit wave, we're below the 21. So if this can hold for, well, the hour just barely populated, so RSI definitely decreased the last 2 hours. But it's right on that cusp where it can change green, red, green, red. So let's see what happens here. As you can see, I've given me plenty of room to maneuver. Stop loss, take profit. My sizing's right. I'm not stressed about this trade at all. I could go clear to the stop loss and I wouldn't even care because I know I can make up $250. I would prefer to go to my take profit, obviously, but sometimes trading is just not going to work out. And managing your losses is going to determine how much you win overall. Okay, RSI is shrinking fast. 23, 25 now. Hmm. 25 holding strong. Got about a minute and a half in this candle. Now we're at a 26 RSI. Just got a breaking news story about the wildfire near me is 8,200 acres, 0% containment. It's about 8 miles south of me right now. One of the biggest fires in the United States right now. Kind of crazy. Okay, we just turned in that new candle. Now we're back to 40 RSI. So, like I was just saying 10 minutes ago, when we get these profit wave touches and you get a wick, that price action's telling you that we're possibly going to reject and go the other way. So we're going to zoom out a little bit. This level's holding pretty strong, but we can break past whatever invisible level here. I'm surprised there's not an order block here because it's tested this level a couple times. But no order block. Interesting. Raggy 01. You think we could make a profit if we just trade the indicator RSI every color change? Probably. Only thing is, what are you going to do right here? So you got a signal here to buy, and then the very next candle was a sell. That's how I took my losses, because I bought right here and everything looked like it was going to go back up. We were right on the 1 hour. Everything looked like it was going to go back up, but it actually went down. But yeah, it's not, I don't know if I would use it for my main indicator, but it's a great secondary indicator. I mean, that's how I got into this trade here, and you can see we've already made up our loss. Our take profits down here. The next level that it could potentially go to is yesterday's low, which is here. Yeah, if you just do it mechanical like that, Raggy 01. Just take sells when you get the signal and buys when you get the signal, and then close it no matter what it says. Yeah, that'd probably work. I think the lower time frame you'd probably get more signals and less consistency. On the higher time frame you'd get less trades, but better overall. Probably. It really depends on the day. I mean, I think overall, like I said, I use it as secondary indicator, so I mean, it's a great indicator. You could make it work, yeah. I've had hundreds of comments since I've started my channel in January. I've had hundreds of comments of people thanking me for that indicator. Let's put it that way. So there is some value to it for sure. There is definitely ways you can do that. You can see these lines here, Raggy 01. These lines here are for my alerts. So I got an alert 45 minutes ago when I was still in a buy to sell. So if I'd have sold from here, we'd even be higher than we are now. Just going off of this. So yeah, you could turn this off. You could turn this off. You could turn your EMA off and just use that. So you would have sold right here. We'd even be better than we are now as far as profit. And then right here, you'd have bought on this candle here. And you would have sold on this candle here. So there'd be a little profit there. You'd get a little bit of chop right here. So it's not perfect. There'd be times it'd be hard, like right here. Right here, it'd be a lot of chop. You'd be in this trade forever and not really go anywhere. So you're just gonna have to deal with that. But yeah, overall, There's definitely value to that indicator. I'm not going to lie. I mean, that's why it's my secondary. I've used that indicator for years. I've copied this from an old Forex strategy. So, and I've had killer luck. You can look at my videos. I've got like 60 something videos. It's amazing. I won't trade without it. Let's put it that way. Regio 1, so you can do it by the 2 to 3 take profit. You could do it that way, but sometimes the market's not going to stretch that far. So one of the reasons I like the order blocks is it'll tell me for that day what my end zones are, so to speak. So like today, this is a pretty safe level, but some days you're squished between two levels here. So 2 to 3 times profit versus loss is not possible. So that's one thing you're going to need to consider, because sometimes the market doesn't move that far. Some days the market doesn't stretch that far. So I like to have the order blocks I use as my end zones. So on days like today, I can kind of see how far it's going to stretch potentially. Now, there's no guarantees, not at all. There's nothing ever going to say for sure it's going to go here, for sure it's going to go there. But I like to have them on there. I mean, I like to know where potentially things are going to go. And I use it for stops too. I mean, this is a great place to stop. Look at this. It's snugged right against that resistance. And that's a really strong resistance. It's rejected a bunch of times just today. It's like the highest we've been in days. So I felt really good at that level. This video I'm making is kind of my new strategy poster. It's not necessarily a new strategy. I'm just refining my strategy. I'm not doing the biggest difference, to be honest. The biggest difference is I'm not doing 2-minute signals anymore. If you want the strategy in a nutshell, that's it. I'm just not doing 2-minute signals I'm not doing 2-minute signals at all anymore. That's the number one reason I lost both the last accounts. Between that and not using a stop loss is the number one reason I lost both the last accounts that I had. My setup is good. My strategy is good. This charting that I have is good. The problem is when you get bad signals on the lower time frames, especially, okay, it's right here. You got a 2-minute chart. This is a choppy nightmare. This buy signal did not pan out. This sell signal did not pan out. This sell signal has not panned out. Actually, the second sell signal, you likely would have stopped out before it went down to the ultimate take profit like it did. Eventually, it did hit take profit, but I think my stop would have been placed where it would have killed me first. And that's a problem I ran into, is once I started going bad, I would get wiped out with bad signals. On 5-minute chart, the signals are a lot less, but they're very high probability. I don't know if it's 80%, but it's high. On 5-minute chart, it's high. And every asset's different. So if you go to gold, it's not as high. If you go to oil, it's not as high. But on S&P, MES, MNQ, yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Raggy01. You're not wrong. I think there's more to the story than just the RSI. That's why I have multiple things on here. But yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I recommend everybody use it. It's a killer indicator. There's tons of times that's been my deciding factor, is what the RSI has done. I mean, I look at everything. I look at the big picture. I try to look at multiple things. I'm so used to looking at everything, I can make a decision in 10 seconds. But it has a big factor. And another thing too, this has kept me out of bad trades. I'll say that too. So like anytime I see this kind of stuff, I don't do it. So if it's not to the line yet, I won't take that trade. If it's only like at 6 or 5, I won't take that trade. There's not enough to say to take the trade. So I left the fishy on there on purpose because you can see what it did for us. We had a buy placed right here. At that time, when I was looking at my 1 hour chart, everything was looking pretty bullish. I thought we were potentially going to go up to here somewhere today. Just looking at the last couple days, we had some pretty good bullish action. Then we broke down through. Our RSI sunk pretty hard, and we've got some levels. This is yesterday's low. If you go back to yesterday's low, this is yesterday's low. This is where the market opened. Market open was somewhere in here yesterday. So this is yesterday's low, so it could potentially go that low. It's fighting pretty hard, though. We're not really getting anywhere. I mean, the last 2 hours, we've hardly moved anywhere. We've only moved 10 points one way or the other in an hour. Yeah, 9.9 points in an hour. So yeah, the simpler the better. I definitely agree. That's what I like about my charting. My charting is very easy to read. The Simple Market Metric Toolkit is very simple. It's red or green. It doesn't get much simpler than that. But you're right. Yeah, it's one of those things. Keep it simple. It does better generally. And obviously that's why we're all here, is to make money. So whatever avenue you take to get there, I just there's a little bit more to the story. Like you want to be able to, this tells you a lot about direction, but you still have to manage it correctly. You still have to find your levels and understand market structure and things like that. But you're right. The goal is money. Whatever's going to get us to our money. So, and like I said, this indicator has made me a ton. You can look through my videos. I've got videos galore on days I've absolutely kicked butt, and it's because of these alerts. I have live streams where I've taken these alerts on a live stream, and then you can fast forward like 45 minutes or an hour later, and you can see how much profit we're in, strictly because of this indicator. It's crazy. So you're right. The simple is usually better with trading. That's why a lot of times when you see a lot of overly complicated indicators and chart setups, they don't work because it's too much noise. It's too much confusion and too much noise. And also there's some things about market structure and like just basics that are super important, that are super easy. I'll give you a really good example. See this 21 where it crossed below the 200? That in Forex, we used to call that a death cross. So anytime you see something like that, that's when I got out. When I saw that I finally officially crossed over that, I got out because I knew we were done. The 200 EMA is our overall trend definer. So if you're when you're above your 21 and your 200, man, it's like a rocket ship or below, right? Right now we're below both those levels. So this death cross signaled to me that we're potentially going to go lower. Now all these rejections into the profit wave, they could be some signaling of some bull action that's going to come in. There's probably some buy orders. People are seeing a lot of bullish action the last couple of days. There's probably some buy orders sitting down in these levels that are keeping this level cramped where it's at. But just going off a very simple, very simple, easy fundamental of trading, 221, and that cross right there signals potential big trend change. Does it mean it happens instantly? No, for sure not. If you look back, the 21's the white line, the 200's the red line. The last time the 21 was below the 200 would have been Monday, the 23rd. So 2 full days ago. Yeah, I'm a trend trader too. Raggio one. I'm always a trend trader. What got me sidetracked is taking signals. I got so used to taking high probability signals. I had some months where I had like 85% win rate on the signals, and then I've had some months where it's like 50%. But the 50% is what kills you. Yeah, that's good. If he makes that work and it's consistent for him, good for him. That's great. I'm a little bit different. I go a little bit slower. I'm a one account at a time type of guy. 5 minute chart type of guy. I don't really like the smaller time frames. And yeah, but that if that works good for him, great. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really good. That's where we all want to be. Yeah, see, we had no support, and our RSI dropped very, very rapidly. Now we're positive. 10 minutes ago, we were negative 35, so things are changing very fast right now. There could have been a Trump tweet, or the tweet game is a little different too. I've seen days where a Trump tweet will move the market crazy. 1K a day is insane. Raggy 01. So 10K and 12K, that's that's like in a different level. That's a different universe of incredible. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. Okay, we're playing with that 200 right now. We may get it. We may get a different direction here. We may take a small loss and head a different direction here. Yeah, this is where you get killed with charting, especially on smaller time frames. I mean, we were in a pretty good sell. We were in profit. We had a good range we were shooting for. And then there's no support. There's nothing right out of and all of a sudden you get a green candle out of nowhere. The background's still red, but you get this strong, 2 candles in a row that are red. They really kick your butt. Yeah, we all dream of those kind of numbers, consistently, profitably, and money hitting the bank. That's where it's important. You can win prop firms all day long, but money hitting the bank was what really matters. And one-hour chart. Back over the 21 here. Got about a minute and a half in this candle. Just gonna see what happens here. Most traders can do pretty well for a couple weeks, but it's their losses that kill them eventually. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've heard people doing really, really well, and then they have a bad 2 or 3 days, and it wipes them out. They got to start all over again. That is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, we're going to, into this candle, if we close above that 200, I'm going to cancel this trade, take a small loss, and we're going to reposition. We just did a green background. We're at 12.11. Positive RSI. We're above 21 and 200. Things are definitely changing direction. Alpine did what today? CP Trader? Yeah, we're changing direction, guys. I'm going to close this. We're going to reposition.
Order filled.
We're down about $200, $180. Ironically, the take profit at 50 puts us right at the top wicks of the very, very top of the extension for today. But everything I'm looking at looks like we got some good buy action going on here. Going off the 1 hour chart, top down analysis like I always talk about. Went from 33 accounts to 11 accounts. Oh, no way. Thank you, Regio1. Appreciate you showing up, man. Have a good day. Oh, that sucks, CP. We've been there. You've been there. I know you've been there. I've been there. You've been there. Man, that sucks. You also know what it's like to be like $200 away from a payout and then lose the whole thing. That is so frustrating. That is new levels of anger. Okay, I think we're kind of about where we were to start the day. That's where I started. I was kind of, my top-down analysis when I first looked, I thought we were going to go back up. And it's looking pretty strong now. Looking like we're going to change direction now. So I'm going to hold this and see what happens. He was on a 33-day in a row with payout with TPT. Jeez. It happens to everybody, man. I don't care who you are. It happens to everybody. Well, CP, look at Nutty. Man, Nutty's went through a hell of a slump lately. I would say the last 2 weeks have been some of the worst trading he's ever done. His expenses have been through the roof lately. He's said it a bunch of times on his streams. He's like, man, I just got to keep my expenses under control because how I'm trading lately has just been murder on my expenses. That'd be awesome if Nutty joined my stream once. I'm going to email him and be like, hey, join my stream once in a while, will you? Put a notification on. When I get on there, you get on there. I'll be on your stream while you're on my stream. How about that? Let's talk about Kellyanne and Patrick Weiland. Meanwhile, the market's moving in the background, making money for other people, and we're worried about drama and whatever the news says or whatever. Okay, we positioned for a buy here. RSI's at 17. We broke the 200. 1 hour chart, we held above that. 21, so. Regio 1, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't do much with Apex, so I couldn't tell you, to be honest with you. Yeah, a lot of places, if you withdraw, they'll let you withdraw your profits, but they'll close your account. I do know that. So, and I've had people say that's the best way to do it, is to pass an account, get a big payout, and start over again. Me, I'd rather just trade a funded account and take small payouts daily. I think that's better than trying to get 3,000 at a time or 5,000 at a time or whatever. But each his own. I think I have it 411. My weekly profit's 2,025, just to make up for any fees. I'm trying to scale back here, CP. I'm trying to scale back my unit size. I'm trying to work better at my take profit and stop loss. Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think sometimes Nutty might spend 100K to make 20K though. Like that's more. Some of the days he's had, that's kind of what I think happens instead. No, I know he's done really well. I'm just teasing him. He's done really, really well. When I first started watching him, he was terrible. I guarantee you he was losing money for the first 6 months or a year he was trading on live stream. some of the days he had, there's no way. I mean, he did a lot of trading off stream, but the mentality and the strategy used, there's just no way it would. There's nothing else. You know, I guarantee you, he was losing more than he was winning. But I would say he's came a long way since then. He does pretty good nowadays. He still gets in his funks and his slumps. We all get there. I don't care who you are. That's how it goes. Just got another RSI alert from the 5-minute chart. First time I've streamed in like a month and a half, and I'm just getting my head kicked in today. It's not doing that great. CP, have you ever traded Blue Sky? You ever did anything with them? I almost did my funded futures again, but I just ended up going Blue Sky. I've never tried them before. That's kind of why I'd wanted to do it. And they do daily payouts. Another guy that I talk with quite frequently, he does Blue Sky. I think they let you allow. I think you can have 5 accounts with them, and he trades 5 at a time, and takes a payout on just one account every day. And I'm like, oh, that's not a bad idea. He's like, I just get in profit, stop all my trades for the day, and then take a payout on one of my accounts. I'm like, that's actually sweet. He's like, it took me a little bit to get it built up, but once you're there, it's so nice. And they do payouts Monday through Friday. I'm like, sweet, let's give it a try. Plus, they have Trade of 8, and they've got that. I'm a big proponent of the risk settings, so thought I'd give it a try. Why not? I've tried the other accounts. I've tried my funded futures, Take Profit Trader, Blue Sky. You never heard of them? I'll email you the link. I don't have a. Somebody else sent this to me, so I'll send it to you, Corey. You're on my creative email, aren't you? Man, I got another. Every day I get another. Somebody else wanting to collab with me. Okay, I just emailed that to you, Corey. Jeez. I may just take a loss and be done trading today. Chalk it up to being sick. Oh, hell. Yesterday I did great. I had 3 trades in a row. Boom, boom, boom. This is what's hard about the metrics, guys. This is where you get murdered. See, we waited for the second candle. We got good RSI. We're over the EMAs. We're green, and then boom. 10 minutes later, we're $100 in profit or negative. Now, when I was trading like 12, 15. That's 4 times that amount. And it's pretty hard to swallow when you get that repeatedly. So you get three losses in a day and you're done. Gosh, man, we're getting kicked in the butt today. Maybe I was correct instead. It's crazy how much it can move in 2 minutes. We were a break even 2 minutes ago. Now we're 120 negative. Good Lord. Going back to our 1 hour. We've been flirting with that 21 for a couple hours now. We were just above it not even 10 minutes ago. Now we dropped really hard below it and we're sinking again. So we may actually be... I'm just going to kill this, guys. I don't want to lose too much on this account. So we're 3 for 3 in the hole. That one there. We lost that one when it started flipping around on us. Now we're back negative. If I'd have just held the second trade, we'd be in profit. 300 down for the day. How late it is in the session. I think I'm going to call it for the day, guys. I'm not feeling that great. I've still got to go rest a little bit. So it was good seeing everybody. Good talking with a few people. Thanks for your support on the stream. I'm going to go lay down, and we're going to see if we can catch this thing up. I every time I get a take profit, or excuse me, every time I get a prop firm account, I always start out in the negative. That's just how my life is gone. So I just need to get better at refinement and keep working at it like we all are. Everybody I know goes through the same thing. Every streamer, every trader I talk with frequently, this is how it goes. So yeah, thanks guys. I'm going to end the stream and we're going to call it a day and try to stream a little bit more often here in the future. See if we can get better. I want to get funded. I cannot wait to make a pay.